Hello and welcome to today's episode. Today I just finished interviewing Olwethu. She is such a lovely person and she sings as well as plays the drums. And we talked about her journey, everything she's overcome, and her core passion for singing music as well. And so I hope you enjoy our conversation and get some key takeaways to take on you with your own musical journey and your life as well. Welcome, Olwethu. I'm so happy to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Esther. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you too. So I have some few questions for you today. The first question I have would be, how did you start singing, and also what does it look like developing your voice?
Okay, just essentially to wrap up the story, how I started singing was I was born into a musical family.
Hmm.
So even though my voice was not yet developed, my parents are both very musical. My dad was a conductor back in his day, conducted choirs, he traveled, did tours around the community back home in Eastern Cape, and really helped a lot of people find their voices as well as a conductor, I'm sure. And my mom sang in a lot of choirs. She was that girl. I believe they met while my mom was singing. So
Mhm.
they're very musical. So whenever we would, pray together as a family, we would worship first. So I remember just always watching them worship, listening to them worship, and then just growing into it. You know how we all grow into whatever. I
Yeah.
grew into that, singing with my
Mhm.
family, singing in worship.
Mhm.
So, and one of my biggest memories in terms of starting with singing was my mom would always, she'd kind of get the ick. She'd be like, no, whenever we'd get the notes wrong, she says, no, my babies will not sing off key. Okay, this is the note, this is what you're singing. And we kind of fell into our parts. So I have two siblings, two older siblings. I'm the youngest at home. I have my oldest brother and then my older sister. Brother sang tenor, and my sister sang alto at the time, and I sang soprano because I had the my voice had not developed like he said, like you had asked. It was still a young, so I was able to reach high notes easily and at the time. So that's how we started singing, and we'd pray and we'd sing together all the time. So
Mhm.
I don't even know if I'd know how to sing if it wasn't for that background from my parents, if I'm being quite honest. They really, without realizing it, really gave us that love to sing together, which gave us the love to worship alone and to grow in our voices and love music. So the my voice definitely looked like singing a lot alone. Singing in the shower, singing when everyone's not home, shouting and belting out notes and finding my voice, like hearing what's going on with my voice
Mhm.
and develop. And over the years, especially now in the latter years, I would definitely say my voice is not as soprano as it used to be. It's more alto tenor.
Mhm.
So I've learned in my development to use that to my advantage. My
Mhm.
sister now sings soprano when we sing together. I now sing alto when we sing together because now we've developed in our voices and we've found our identity and niche in our parts. So yeah, that's what it's looked like. It's looked like a lot of family grooming. I'm
Mhm.
blessed to have had that. I believe, like I said, if I didn't have that background, I probably wouldn't have the passion I do to sing and figure out musical things.
Mhm.
But because it's a home thing, it's so easy. Like we'll be sitting, my mom will start a song, and then we're in it. We're doing music. So yeah, that's how it's looked.
That is so beautiful. I really love that. Oh my gosh. Like I really like how you said like it's something like you do with your family. And like I think that's also so true. Like the things we see around us and like in our environment play like a huge role into like who we grow into, our interests and like all the things we pursue. Yeah.
They make us without realizing it. They make who we
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, and I think like in with me too, like if I didn't have like my mom pushing me and encouraged me to continue playing like the violin, also start singing in church, I wouldn't have done those things. Like when it got hard for me and like when I started facing challenges and like had to grow through different techniques and things like that, I would have there's so many times that I wanted to give up and just feel like I'm done playing this instrument or I'm done singing and stuff like that. But it was because of my mom and my siblings encouraging me that I kept and like stuck with it.
I think just to jump on what you've said,
Mhm.
sometimes the people that are closest to us, and if we're blessed to have families like you're saying, sometimes they see things in us that we don't see in ourselves yet.
Yes. Hmm.
There's some things that you can just let go. Like maybe if you start, I don't know, playing an instrument and you can see that it's not really your vibe, it's easy to let it go. But
Hmm.
there are certain things where you can just tell this is something that you should invest in, like you said, the violin, singing, and things like that. And I think sometimes your family sees things in you that you don't see yet, which is why it's so
Yeah.
easy for them to encourage you to keep going, even when it's hard, even when you're like, you know what, I don't want to pursue this passion. They're like, no, trust us, carry on. You've got something that people need. So I think it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yes, it really, really is. And to also tie in with that too, concerning like challenges and pushing through them, what would you say is like the biggest challenge you faced as a singer? And then how like with your support group and community did you navigate that as well?
I think I think there's phases to it. I think there's definitely phases. How life is literally seasonal. You have a season of summer and a season of winter. Once it's good, it gets bad, and it's good and it's bad again. So I think with singing as well, one challenge I remember facing was just finding my identity.
Hmm.
Like, who is Olwethu's voice? What is Olwethu's voice? Like, who am I? I don't want to be singing like anyone else. I
Yeah.
don't want to put on anyone else. I want to produce a sound from within me.
Hmm.
So, yeah, definitely, like I said before, with developing my voice, I had to spend a lot of time experimenting.
Hmm.
Like, I think even with learning a new instrument, let me just put it out there. Like, I enjoy the drums. I like the drums.
Hmm.
So I like learning to play the drums from time to time. I visit that.
That is
Um,
so cool.
yeah, I think I like it because it's so you get it all out. You get it all out. So I like the drums. Yeah. But you have to spend time with that alone to make those mistakes and figure it out. People see what's good, people hear the good sound, but you are the one who hears the mistakes. You are the one who hears the voice. You are the one who hears the off notes, and you're like, okay, no. So I think to really go back to what you were saying, what the biggest challenge that I faced is finding my voice,
Hmm.
my voice. But genuinely, I and I think it took a very long time. I can only now say I'm walking in that, but not trying to sing like someone else, not trying to even hear someone else's voice while I'm singing. It needs to be a sound coming from me. It needs to be inspiration from me.
Yeah.
And yeah, because another thing is with facing challenges, it's not overnight. It's not overnight. You need to be kind to yourself. If you're watching this, if you're pursuing an instrument, if you're pursuing music, be kind to yourself. It's a journey. It's a whole thing. It's basically like a baby. So yeah, definitely finding myself, finding my voice, and being confident in Olwethu's voice, knowing that even if, because on our channel we do worship covers at the moment, but knowing that even though I'm doing a cover, I'm not trying to sing like the person. I'm
Mhm.
trying to cover and make a new sound with
Yeah.
the song. That's basically what it is. And how did I overcome it? How did I overcome that? Like I said, spending time with the craft. You got
Hmm.
to spend time with it. It's a principle. It's a principle. In order to enjoy the fruits, you have to plant, you have to water it. It's a principle. So spend time with your instrument. Make time in the day to just sing. And well, the nice thing about singing is that it's like talking, but with notes and melody and tunes. So it can happen at any moment, walking, washing the dishes, going anywhere. It can happen at any moment. But with an instrument, make time with what you love, make time for it, and you will develop in that. So, yeah, a few other challenges were minor, they were normal, like but I think overall, just the confidence and finding myself in my craft, me, finding me and not anyone else. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love hearing that too. I relate to that so much too because like I'd say I have more, I relate to that mostly with violin because I played that for much longer than I sang. And for
Okay.
violin, I always reference like recordings of professionals of like the piece I'm playing and like how to do like this technique better. And so I really got in the mindset of trying to sound like this person. Like I want to produce this sound with this piece.
Mhm.
But it's only recently that I've like started to think that, wow, there's something that, that by God's grace I've been able to play. And God has something unique for every single one of us in
Yes.
music and and just in general too. Like everyone has their unique sound that they can produce and give to the world. And I think it's super important to explore and develop that, even outside of technique and things like that. And so I really relate to that a lot because, yeah, I think, yeah, I've only recently started walking with that. And also in singing too. I also, because I started singing I started violin as a child, but I started singing
Mm.
like in high school worship. So like I feel like I'd already had the time to find who I was a little bit more by that time. And so stepping into it with that mindset, more of that has really helped me to not quit when it gets hard or take weeks off not playing or like singing things like that, but to keep going.
Right.
Yes, and to
Hmm.
keep going and like seeing it as like a service as well, has really helped me in that too. Yeah.
That is so true. I relate completely. Like that's exactly where I am now. I think that's very true. Mm.
Yes, and also on a happier note, what's been like your favorite experience you've had through singing as well?
Mm. I think staying with my family. Okay. Let me not even try and pick up something from the sky. Singing
Mhm.
with my family makes me happy.
So sweet.
I love singing with my family because it reminds me of where it all started
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Like we're that first someone in the family will start just singing what's on their hearts and we all come in with our harmonies and it's like, man, yes, this is what it's all about. I'm
Hmm.
so grateful for it because I think as artists or as aspiring artists or as people that have, you know, passions in music. And if you're watching this as well, it's important to have your sweet spot.
Hmm.
Find your sweet spot. Like if you need inspiration, if you are running dry, you're having a dry season, you're having an unmotivated season, you're not feeling inspired, if you're just feeling lost and you're feeling like, what? And confused, go back to your sweet spot. That sweet spot moment where you're like, this was always what it was about.
Hmm.
This was where I started. This is where my heart is. Like sometimes not even realizing it, even when we're praying as a family, it won't even be about the singing. It'll just be about the atmosphere. And I'll just start crying and pouring out. And like, yeah, that's my sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? And and so one of my favorite memories experience music wise is always singing with my family. But I will have to say, and this might also be a piece of advice to anyone watching, is if you're really serious about your passion and your love, find a community and find people to learn from
Hmm.
because you need to have people that will impart inspiration in you. Not necessarily impart themselves in you, but impart inspiration for
Hmm.
you to find yourself.
Yeah.
So, just a quick, like 2 seconds. When we moved to where we live now, that's when my musical journey started. A lot of the schools in where I live in Pietermaritzburg in South Africa have a lot of musical um, communities. So the very, very first musical community I joined was the Peter Marisburg Children's Choir. So it's for like young teens. I think I was in it for 2 years. That
Hmm.
was the very, very, very first time I learned sheet music and choral music. So it was completely new, but it was so, I was like, okay, I definitely love to sing. I definitely love music because they didn't just at home, obviously, mom was like, this is your note, this is your note, this is your note. You must know how to hear when you should harmonize. It was all, it was all emotional. But with this, it was technical, it was educational. Notes have music has notes. There's sheets. You can read music. you can play music. So I learned a lot of that
Mhm.
in the Peter Marisburg Children's Choir, and I was very inspired, but I was still very young. So I
Mhm.
don't think I appreciated it as much as I should have. Up until I moved to primary school, I started doing a lot of theater and started doing a lot of singing. Again, I grew in my voice, but I had not developed yet. I only started developing in high school.
Mhm.
That's when I started having my lower tone. That's when I started having a more rich and more hearable sound. Like, okay, we can hear what your voice is. And I remember the very first time I auditioned for the choir, we made it in, and the very first time I heard them sing, I promise you, it sounded like angels. I'm not even joking. Like for them, they were just like 1, 2, 3, ah. But for me, it was like, what? Yo, there's no ways you guys can sing like that. And I wanted to know how they did that. I
Mhm.
wanted to know how do you guys put all your voices? It was not just 5 people like in my family anymore. It was not just 20 people like the Peter Marisburg Children's Choir. It was a whole high school choir.
Mhm.
So it was a lot of voices and a lot of voice parts, but sounded like one.
Mhm.
So that completely did a whole new thing for me. So that was a really memorable experience. And if anyone's watching this who went to high school with me, it was a really memorable experience. So
Mhm.
yes, that was a really good experience for me. And yeah, definitely family and musical communities. I learned a lot in high school about music. I learned a lot about myself vocally, and I grew a lot. And by the grace of God, I grew and advanced. I was made to be head of the choirs, which even put a lot more pressure to be the best in terms of inspiring the girls to also produce a musical sound. So yeah, definitely high school, definitely joining my first big choir and
Mhm.
having that inspiration. Yeah.
Wow, I completely agree with that. Yeah, like community is so important. That's so beautiful. I also think that we're in a dry season or even stuck, our community can even push us on too. Like even the way you said that when you were a leader in your choir that you push the girls to also use their voices and make the most of it. I think that's super powerful. And I think that even when we don't feel like we're making as much progress as we want to maybe in our voices or we're hitting like a dry season, even just surrounding ourselves with people who are wanting to continue in the craft and push themselves is super beneficial too. And I actually I take videos when I practice so I can like hear myself back. And I
Yeah,
I remember thinking one time, like, oh my gosh, like I have not been practicing as much as I want to recently. Am I getting better? And then I went back in my phone and I saw a video of myself a year ago and I was like, wow, like just by
yes, yeah.
yes, just by staying in the groups, just by staying in community, and even just trying a little bit every single day, the difference was insane to me. And I was super surprised because I really didn't feel like I was doing that much every single day, but it compounds over time, like staying around a community and people who are, like-minded and want to continue to do better and better.
Exactly. That's so real. And I think it applies with anything. It's
Mhm.
a principle once again, like I mentioned before. It applies with anything. Anything that you start and begin,
Mhm.
you don't walk away at the first inconvenience. You're
Yes.
never gonna accomplish anything. That's what it means. You're never gonna finish anything.
Mhm.
You have to look back at where you started so that you can see your growth. I love what you said. I love that. Sometimes I listen to my old covers and I'm like, whoa, oh, whoa, you thought that was good, didn't you? And I listen to myself and I'm like, okay, I see the growth. Fine, okay. You need that perspective and community. Yeah, no, definitely, 100% agree.
Mhm. And then lastly, just to close this out, what's a piece of advice or quote that you have that you've really stood on throughout your singing journey that you want to give to the audience as well?
Oh man. Yeah, probably sounds cliche, but if you listen to this, don't give up.
Hmm.
Don't give up. I think I'll just split this into two, but don't give up. You have something that people need. You have something that we need. It may not seem like it. It may not seem as impactful at the beginning, but don't despise small beginnings.
Hmm.
Um, Don't give up, please. Like I'm begging you. I don't even know you who is watching, but I'm begging you to not stop. Please don't stop. The world definitely needs what you have. You wouldn't have a burden about it if there were not people somewhere in your future ready to receive it. And number two, love what you do, but love who gave it to you more.
Mhm.
Because everything has a source.
Mhm.
We all have a source. Like I said, that sweet spot. You know, I always worship with my family to bring me back to where my love first came from. But I also have a source as myself, as a person, my identity, and that's God. He's the one who gave the gift. He's the one who gave the desire, the passion. So he's the one that is going to sustain it as well. You are the one who has to sharpen it. You're the one who has to work it. You're the one who has to wake up and practice, but he's the one who sustains you.
Yeah.
And we receive you. We receive your heart. So love what you do, but love who gave it to you more. Because you can be the best drum player. I'm saying it. I will be the best drum player. You can be the best drum player. You can be the best violin player. You can be the best singer. But if your heart is not really with your source, we will feel it as well. People will feel it, and we receive your heart before we receive your gift. So I would definitely say don't give up and love what you do, but love who gave it to you more.
Yes, I love that so much. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And I think that like just to add on to that as well, I think, like coming from with that, appreciating where it came from also helps to stir your appreciation for serving too. And to not see it as just something that belongs to you, but something that you can impact.
Mm,
I love that so
I-
much.
yeah, that's so good. Yeah, I think another thing that I had to learn, this is also very recently, was that, oh, maybe my voice is not just for me. Maybe your love for what you're doing is not, it's for people and it's to give back and it's to bring people together and say, let's have one mission, which is ultimately well with me as well, to worship God. So yeah, that's definitely it. And all the best, all the best. If you're watching this and you are an aspiring musician or you just started loving something, all the best, man. We all are in those shoes, but all the best. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Olwethu. I really, really appreciate you coming on today. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. You're so, so sweet.
Thank you, Esther, for having me. I really, really enjoyed it. Your space was absolutely lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so, so much for watching this week's episode. I genuinely hope you enjoyed it and learned something new, as well as were encouraged as well. And we also post on our Instagram. Make sure to follow this account here to keep up with us for any updates. And we will see you next time. Bye bye.